welcome to another episode of Stuck in My Mind podcast. I am your host, Wize, and today's guest is a transformational force, survivor, entrepreneur, mission leader, and guide to purpose-driven business. She is a 17 times best-selling author, founder of 11 startups, CEO of Retreat RnR, and a leader who turned a 70-day near-death battle of COVID into a calling to empower others. With her signature shift framework, she helps leaders and retreat entrepreneurs blend spiritual alignment with business strategy. If you're ready to build something that matters, let's welcome Dr. Holly Porter to Stuck in My Mind podcast. Hello.
Hi, how are ya?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you.
Awesome. So I'm excited to have you on the show. Like I'm ready to hear your story. But so take us back to the 70-day near death experience with COVID. What was happening when you realized your life was being rewritten?
Ugh, um, dread. Yeah, I mean, so I never even thought I'd get COVID. I didn't think I was above it. I just was a really healthy person. So I got hit hard. I got the Delta version and ended up 70 days in the hospital with 2 intubations, a trachea. I had a couple infections, including sepsis. So there were many days just laying there, thinking, gosh, is this it? Is this how I go out? And after about 3.5 weeks really fighting, about the time I got the trachea, which you're still on the ventilator, I think I was on a ventilator for about 52 days total. And you're just laying there. I wanted to give up many days, just thinking, oh my gosh, either get me better or get me out of here. I'm pretty much done. I'll go either way, but let's make a decision here. And yeah, it was amazing. I had lots of out of body experiences and a near death experience and a what they call spiritual transformative experience, which I didn't know all those things were different. So it's been a lot the last 4 years unraveling all that and exciting and yeah, just moving forward. And here I am.
So what did that experience crack open in you? What beliefs, definitions of success or identity had to be shed?
Gosh, so many things. I believe, I mean, God's my higher power, whatever that is for anyone else, I respect. But it's I think God had to put me still long enough so I would listen. I think I was just in the doing all the time and not in the being. And when you really have to be in the being and you're laying there and you can't do anything else but be in your head, which is crazy for a very ADHD person, by the way. There's always stuff going on in my head. So I got to keep my body moving too. And just being able to lay there, the shifts I made, which is why the book's called my new book coming out, 1111. Not sure. Well, I guess we're live, right?
Yes,
So
you're alive.
yeah, so 1111 is coming and it's called Near Death Shift. And I I don't think I would have survived that for many reasons that happened along the way, but just I had a lot of personal development. And I think that saved me. I think having your mind, when your body's that sick, your mind needs to be in the right place. And I think all of that time and hours and money I spent and coaching I spent, I mean, hundreds of thousands, by the way. I mean, obviously it paid off because I think that was a big reason that saved me because mind over body for sure.
Oh no, that definitely. It's crazy when because even with me prior to whatever situation happened to me, I had just gotten into self development and learning about self development because I it was so my wife passed away when I
Oh,
was 31 from a car accident, but she's the one who introduced me to the world of self development. And I
oh,
think that was her way of preparing me for what was to come, right? So
mm.
even though I she prepared me and I went through, of course, I went through my grieving and it's the story for another day, but it was just something like I think her introducing me to the world of self-development and learning to wanting to improve myself is what helped me eventually get through the everything that I went through. So yeah, no, I definitely feel what you were saying.
It's interesting how things happen in our lives that do either prepare us or we are prepared.
Yeah,
And it can go either way.
actually, yeah, yeah, right. So You've launched 11 startups and built a successful career. What changed after your health breakthrough that shifted how you approach business and life?
So different. A lot slower these days, I will admit, full disclosure. Long COVID set in, and there's over 100 million people suffering with that had COVID. So that set in for me after, and I really couldn't work much for about a year and a half. Like it was a miracle the things that I did accomplish during that time because I was still on oxygen. I had level 4 to 7 pain all day. And I think when you have those kind of shifts, it does change the way you do everything. I was told in my near death experience 2 specific things to do. So that changed everything of where I knew when you have pretty much God laying out the plan for you and that you're not going to get to choose whether you get to stay or go, you better listen. It's a wake up call. And I was told to start a nonprofit, not much other instructions other than the name. And I was told not to partner with a company that I had pitched to, this new company called Retreat RnR. I pitched to them on the day I found out I had COVID. I was so sick. I remember getting up at 5 a.m. I had to get there like by 6 a.m. for a video call, pitched 9 people. Full disclosure to them, I'm like, I'm not feeling my best. I think I've got the flu. But I just said I didn't want to cancel the meeting because I'd been looking so forward to it. They had a billionaire backer. So you can bet I was excited to chat with them, to partner with them. And in my near death experience, I was told not to. That wasn't the highest and best thing to do for the company, and that it needed to be mine and I needed to do it on my own and that it would take longer, which it has. And so going with those instructions, I think it just, I took care of my health because every day was better's better. That's my motto. And I knew I had these things to do. So within about 4 months, I had both companies. One was a 501(c)(3), so I had that incorporated in nonprofit. And then the other one I had incorporated. And I just look back and think, gosh, I guess if you're told to do things, you get the energy to figure out the how. It's like I didn't have to know all the hows of how to do everything. I just needed to pull together the people that did. And that's what I did. And so I still do that. I just really, really work at not doing everything myself, realizing that I need to stay in my own zone of genius and let the people that know better than me in those areas come in and lock arms with them and run.
Yeah, no, and I think it was the best choice for you to
Yeah.
go and like they said, no, you need to own it. Like, don't go into business with this such simple. You need to own all of this, and that's kind of how I feel with everything that I'm doing. Is yeah, I can go get sponsors and all, but
Yeah.
I want like one of the first things I learned when I got into podcasting was free isn't always the best thing. So
Yeah.
everyone was going to Anchor because it was free,
Yep.
but they weren't reading the fine line where you didn't own your
Your
show.
content. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'm like, no, I'm this is mine. I'm putting blood, sweat, and tear into this. I'm not. I know I'll pay. I'll pay for the platform. I don't care.
And it's really when in the big scheme of things, it's not that much money. You
No,
can get a platform for 15 to $20. So it really, you're right. I agree with you. It's like you pay now or you pay later,
yeah,
which is more important. Even if it takes you a little more time to launch something or do something correctly, paying someone for the shortcut is way worth it in my eyes. I've done the thing where, oh no, I need to save the money, I know how to do that. You might. And where is your zone of genius? Where can you be more productive? How much more money? I mean, I sell real estate. I've been a real estate broker for 20 years, and it's
yeah.
like, to have someone do the paperwork, what if I spend that time out looking for more new prospects or working and showing houses? That's where my zone of genius is. So let somebody else do the busy work that takes the time away from me. They love it. I don't. And it's just figuring out and balancing those.
And
It's a balancing act for sure.
that's where I'm at now. Is I need to learn how to let go and
Mm.
just I I do it all. Content, do this, everything. So yeah, it's time for me to get in help and invest, right, in myself and invest in the company. Yeah, it's definitely time for me to do that.
Well,
I
don't you know the song? Let it go. You better get that on replay. Listen to it all night.
so tell us how the idea of blending spiritual calling with strategy emerged in your journey.
Yeah, that's actually new for me. So I've always been a religious person. I would
Okay.
say now I'm more a spiritual person.
Yeah.
It flip-flopped for me a little bit the way it was just because of what I went through.
Mhm.
And it's interesting because I was a speaker before, and then I took this break, where I've just did things in between, and I would do my talk, and then I got chose to speak at the International Association of Near Death for Near Death Studies. So it's called IANS, and that was this past August. And just before that, all of a sudden, as soon as they chose me to do that, the probably 6 months before, I started being on all these podcasts. Like I'm on podcasts all the time, but more for business because that's been my thing. And it was all of a sudden everybody's fascinated with the near death. And so all these near death podcasts started reaching out, and they'd hear it from someone else's podcast. So then they'd reach out. And I mean, it felt great because it's a lot easier story to tell when it's your own. Like it's
Mhm.
pretty easy to be authentic when it's just your story. Whether it's like you have to let go of your story of what anyone else believes, because you go listen to the comments and you can get pretty depressed. People aren't that nice all the time. And now it's like, yeah, if I was going to make up a near death story, I'd probably do it like that too. Just things like that was like, you can't take that to heart. And I do, because I'm very sensitive and I'm an empath. So I do take it in. And so I have learned how I've had to learn more how to protect myself and protect my energy. And I was going to mention the story I was sharing a little while ago about the billionaire backer. It's interesting how things come full circle. It just takes time. So sometimes when we're in it and we're going through really, really challenging times and we just can't see the end, you just feel like, it's so heavy at the time. Well, just this year, it's been 4 years now. It's this year, a few months ago, I had a call with somebody that was knowledgeable about this particular person in their group, and found out that they had this billionaire backer, but they had taken a totally different direction. I mean, their big moonshot goal was what I wanted to be part of, and it doesn't even exist anymore. So
Oh,
it was like, wow, 4 years later I find out the why, and sometimes you just have to have the trust.
mm,
And so I think it's balancing, and that's where the spiritual comes in for me, is that intuition that everybody has, whether you believe it or not. Everybody has it. You've had a moment where you've had a feeling not to do something, whether you listened or you didn't, you had that result, whatever it was, whether it was good or bad. And if anyone can't think of a situation, I would be surprised, because
oh, yeah.
everybody's got it.
I don't know. Even, even with me, it's just the way my journey has gone, and yeah, no, it's for for me, it's being able to share my story
Mhm.
and tell and tell everyone what I've experienced, and it's just been therapy for me
Yeah,
in the first place.
sure.
It's been therapy for me to be able to let that out and express everything, and then hearing other people's story and and and
Yeah,
and learning from that and seeing how, especially listening to you spending 70 days in the hospital, not knowing if you're gonna come home ever, and to hear that and see you now and see where you're at now. Hopefully someone watching this is like inspired and go and say, listen, look what she's overcome. Look at the little things I'm going
yeah,
through.
yeah,
I can go and do something and make something with my life. And that's what I want people to take from the podcast, is to be able to listen to some amazing stories like your own and to realize like, man, they've been she's been through a lot. Look at what she's been through, and look what I've been through, and
yeah.
maybe I can overcome what I'm. So yeah,
Absolutely.
it's
Anybody can overcome.
yeah.
It's just everyone goes through hard times,
Mhm.
and hard for me might be a cakewalk for somebody else, but
Yeah.
hard for them might be a cakewalk for me. So I feel like we all get our challenges. We don't get more than we can handle. We just feel
Mhm.
like we get more than we can handle.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. 'Cause
I
that's
still feel like that a lot of times. Like, not today. No. No do-overs. I seem to go through 3 times before, like, it hits me over the head and go, "Yeah, I don't wanna make that choice today. This is number 3. Let's not do it." Mm.
so what and we talk about this, resilience played a big part in turning a near-death moment into a powerful mission for you.
Well, when God tells you to do something, you better listen, is all I gotta say, and I had no fear. I had no fear of death. I was a little ticked off that I didn't get to choose whether I wanted to stay or come back. My mission was to come back. I never, like I said, I wasn't afraid of death, but trust me, when you're there, I mean, I heard somebody else say one time, if people could see where you go when you die, you would kill yourself to get there. That's a horrible say to say that. And I can understand those emotions and that feeling. So for me, it was just that mission of being told to do that, to come back and make this happen. And so it has taken me longer. There's been a lot of setbacks, not just physically, mentally, financially. I mean, I had $1 million hospital I was juggling. And there's just, when you have all these things, it's like, oh, I'm out of the hospital, but what now? I mean, I just, at any time I could have had a setback and died then. It's like, now I'm kind of like, it's a race. It's like, every day is a blessing. So what can I do today to move what I need to do forward faster? And I'm all about speed, but what I've learned about speed is that for me puts my body in setback with the long COVID, because I had lots of diagnoses. Remember, I was perfectly healthy. I walked in on no drugs. I walked out on 12. So
Wow.
I slowly got off of them. I'm very holistic. That was challenging. They gave me every drug under the sun in the hospital. Um, so it's a miracle that I came out. I wasn't addicted to anything. I just had to work my way off of them. So I think you just get all those setbacks and challenges, and it's like, okay, what next? What next? And it just, that better's better was just that everyday motto. Well, what can I do today to get better? And and then the mission for my nonprofit became for long COVID, I will say. And then about 2 years later, I had a whole nother spiritual experience around that. I was really challenged. Nobody wanted to hear the word anymore. It was like swearing the F word, by saying COVID. It's like people didn't want to hear about it. Nope, it's over. We're done. It wasn't real, whatever your thing was. And it was just like, there's 100 million. That was the last statistic I picked that are suffering from it. So I made the whole mission around the nonprofit for long COVID. It just didn't feel right. Something was really off. And I was finally getting better. I'm in my, 2 years now, and I took all the fundraisers off the table that year. And I just was doing a podcast for long COVID. And I thought, just do the podcast. That was kind of what I told myself till I figure this out. Something's off, but I don't know what.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there recording a podcast with somebody who's telling their very intense or COVID story. And I'm reliving mine. And all of a sudden I can't breathe. And I mean, when you can't catch your breath, it's a horrible feeling. It was
Mm.
like an elephant was sitting on my chest all the time. And I just was like, what's happening? And all of a sudden, I call it a download, just you get that inspiration. All of a sudden, I was told, just plain as day, this is not your mission anymore. And this is your last podcast. And I was like, okay, I was actually excited because I needed an answer. And I was so clear. My answer was so clear. And so that was my last podcast. And then I went through this grief and depression. Wow, why would God tell me to start this nonprofit? Here's the name. And when I talked to one of my board members who's really a energetic person, and she said, you know what? If I remember, you didn't get given the mission. You only got given the name. You came up with the mission. It was underserved. Nobody had any help for long COVID. Were there statistics? There was nothing to look at to prove, to get us better. Nobody knew what to do. They still really don't.
Yeah.
And so she just said, keep the name. You're in your 3rd year of your nonprofit, and let's just change the mission. So that's what we did. And then the next thing was, she says, what would light you up? Like, what would make you excited about this? And so that's when we made the shift. We kept the name, made the shift to Women Leading with Purpose, because purpose is what I came out of my experience with. I never could have told you before. I mean, I'm 57 years old, almost 58. And this was 4 years ago, and I couldn't tell you, like, I could tell you my why is my kids, my family, the grandkids, sure. But that purpose, that legacy that you wanna leave, I could have never told you that. I'm pretty clear about it now. So it was like, great. All right, this is it. So that's what I want to help other women get and move things forward because I always am, let's not always take one step forward, three back. That's just been my mantra my whole life and it doesn't always have to be hard. We make it hard.
We do. We do.
Yeah.
Absolutely. No, we do. You do make it hard on ourselves.
Yeah.
But it's just amazing because you're talking about purpose. I was like, and I think for a lot of people, some was I know I was furloughed from my job. I didn't, don't- I didn't. Everything was shut down,
Yeah.
and so the previous year I had purchased a $160 Amazon a Behringer podcast studio from Amazon, and I was going to start a sports podcast with a friend of mine.
Okay.
And it never happened. It
Oh,
because, him and his wife got pregnant, and so he didn't have time, and
yeah.
so 2019 went by with me just messing around, recording, deleting, just questioning myself, just all this doubt saying, "Why would anybody wanna listen to me? What do I have to say? I'm not anyone. I don't have degrees. I don't do this for a living. This wasn't what." And so when I finally decided to, because then 2020 came and COVID can happen, and I was furloughed, no work, I was home. I finally decided just to press record, and it was probably like 5 minutes long. It was just the
Yeah.
introduction, and it was just me just putting myself out there. You know what? Imma just do it. Hit record. I had my nephew on the phone, and I didn't have any of the proper set hookups that I have now, right? It was just the phone, I had the mic, and I had the phone to the mic, so whenever he spoke, you could hear it,
Yeah.
and that was the beginning.
I love that.
And I was like, "Okay, I'm I just did it." It was like, "Okay, well, this big weight was lifted." I started podcasting. At first, it was a solo podcast where I was talking about everything that was going on because you had, COVID, you had the elections, you had the George Floyd situation, you had so much stuff
Sure.
going on, and
Yep.
I just wanted to just talk about how I was feeling, how I
Yeah.
felt with everything going on and losing friends and family to COVID and all this stuff, like, it was just like, "Okay, let's start going. Let's just record." And that's what I just start 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes. It's just with each episode, I just started getting more comfortable and it just started extending it.
It
And
got better and better.
yeah, and then I just felt like
Easier and easier.
I was like, "I wanna start interviewing people. Let me just start talking to people." And of
Yeah.
course, it was difficult because 'cause I'm a brand new podcaster. I don't have a following, I'm not a celebrity. So people like, "Nah, you need to get your audience up and then whatever, come see
I
me."
know, but they're not your audience at that time, and they're not your
Yeah,
guests.
yeah,
It's like there's so many people that have so much value that don't have letters or celebrity attached to them
mhm.
or influencer, whatever. There's a lot you can learn from just regular everyday people.
And so it was like, "Okay, alright, I found something." And so once I started interviewing people and I started with a coworker of mine, and then I interviewed a good friend of mine. The one of them actually, she left the industry that she was in with me and went into another one and started her own business. And
Yeah,
then the other friend was she worked at a nursing home during COVID, and
okay.
she told the story about what she was experiencing and the people passing, and
Yeah,
so that just, like, showed, like, "Alright, now I'm giving these people a platform,
uh,
and the people are actually listening and commenting and sending me messages like, 'Yo, keep doing, going with,' and of course, I'm having this doubt in me, but listening to like, how people are sending these messages and tell me, 'Hey, you sound great. You have a great voice,' and
yeah,
I'm like, "Oh, man, okay," and so I was like, man, it took me 40 something years to figure out that this is what I want to do. This is my this is I want to be able to give people a platform to share this story, to be able to help other people and maybe lead me to something else. It's opened up so many different opportunities. It's opened me up to learning how to self-publish books. It's
Mhm.
opened up to me launching an internet radio station, getting certified as a coach, and all these different opportunities.
Yeah.
But it took me going, just making myself uncomfortable and doing something that I had never done before,
Yep.
and just
Press
running
and
with it.
play.
Yeah, just press and record, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's
So,
a great story.
yeah, so what if someone listening had been through a major setback and wonders, "What now?" Like you had said before, what advice would you give them from that early pivot?
Well, I would say set if you're gonna if you wanna make a new pivot and a new change, I think you really need to, like, sit with it. I mean, I'm an idea person, and I move, you know? And I just think that we sometimes don't take the energy and the time to sit with something long enough to map out that whole plan. There's so much you can do with AI right now
Yeah,
that can help you. You get your ideas and then you just throw them out there. I mean, I have a paid version because I use it every day and we do chats. I mean, sometimes when I'm walking, I chat. Sometimes when I'm walking around my house, even I chat. And it's like I come up with an idea, I throw it in there and I just say, "Hey, let's mastermind a new idea I have." And that cues in that we're going to have this little mastermind, just me and chat.
yeah,
And I would say that's such a great way to just bounce off the first ideas. I mean, real people are there's nothing better than a real conversation, like what we're
of
having
course.
right now. This is next to best to being in person, right? But I think just getting those ideas and then finding someone who's safe to share it with. I mean, I'm in the process of starting. Oh, I thought I'd never start another business, but I'm never going to say never. And it goes along with my retreat stuff, but it's an association, and I can't say any more than that yet. And it's like, why am I getting more ideas when I have all these other things still to take care of? But
And it
it's like order, and this is going to happen now, next, and then this, and
um,
so it's just I mean, it's like I feel so grateful that I have the ideas, but I'm like, okay, I'm not going to bootstrap this one. How do I make this profitable? And how do I start, having a core group of people so that I'm not having to dig into my own bank account to do it because that's what I usually end up doing. And so community is so important to build, whether it's a one person or a million people. To me, building community, building relationships, and then that builds prosperity. And prosperity for me isn't all about money. It's not. It's You can be prosperous in love and in life, and there's so many things you can be prosperous in. I think the money comes because of what you're giving, because you are being authentic, and because you're putting yourself out there. And I just that hope. People just need that hope right now. I think there's so
yeah,
many unknowns right now. I'm in the real estate industry, so you can imagine. And it breaks my heart that these kids can't even. It's like, is home ownership ever in their future? I don't know. I don't know how they can afford to get into housing. I mean, affordable housing isn't affordable anymore. The interest rates are outrageous, and then we've got just government shutdowns. And I mean, I'm not trying to get political. I'm just saying it just we have all the negative. We know the negative will always be there. So how can we shift that and make it a positive? And actually, in my book, I that's what I talk about. It had to be. It's a spiritual book. Does tell my story, but the last half of the book are learning. It's personal development. It's all how using the SHIFT acronym, which is surrender, hope, intuition, faith, and transformation. And then there's 8 lessons and 8 chapters of how I share how to do that. And it talks about people in history, and it gives you journaling prompts. And for me, if one person learned something from that book, it's worth writing. I feel like it was more for me because of what I learned and what I realized that I came through the last 4 years. And when you have a bad day and you think, "Gosh, I don't feel like I've accomplished very much," start writing. You'll really see. And when you see it out on paper, then you kind of can pat your own self on the back and say, huh, I wasn't as unproductive as I thought I was. And I think that we're the hardest critics on ourselves. And we've got to give ourselves some grace and make sure. Okay, one more thing I'm gonna say that reminded me. When I was part of Rotary International, it's a service organization, and
Mhm.
I was part of that for 14 years, and I loved it. It totally served a purpose in my life when I was raising a bunch of teenagers, and it taught them service. But it was interesting. I had a lesson for myself when I wrote the book. I realized service above self is wrong. I mean, I think it was 1911 when Rotary International became its thing. Women weren't even allowed for many, many years. Women couldn't even join it. And I was a past president. I helped with 2 international conferences. So I was really all in. And now I look at it differently, and I explain that in the book because I think it's like the oxygen mask.
Mhm.
If What do they say? Put it on yourself
Yes.
first.
Yeah.
If you're pouring from an empty cup, how do you serve from an empty cup? And so I'm like, I think I'm going to write them. I'm going to take it upon myself to write them and just say, your 4-way test is great, but your motto is flawed. Service above self is not how it should be. You can serve, but
Yes.
you
You
got
have
to
to
serve from a
yourself.
full
You gotta
cup.
serve yourself as well. No, you have to feed
I'm going
into
to copy my book with it.
No, no, you definitely have to feed into yourself, and that's something I've learned, and as far as spiritual this year, I said I was gonna at the beginning of the year, I said I was gonna work on my relationship with God,
Mm,
and that didn't mean that I was gonna go to church every Sunday, no, it was just my communication with Him daily,
yeah.
and how I wanted to speak to Him daily, and stuff. So when I shifted that way, things started to shift. Things started
Yes.
going in a much different direction. Yes, I this there is everything the way no, it's everything's not the way I want it to be just yet. But there's so many things that are happening, and it's just amazing that with when I started the shift, and I started that I'm gonna I really want to improve my relationship with God, and I really want, and I intentionally started speaking to Him every morning,
Mhm.
and just that shift, and like I said, just things started opening,
Yeah.
and even more now, recently with a lot of the opportunities that are coming my way
Yeah.
because of this shift, because of how I said I wanted to work on my relationship with God, and so, and like I said, I'm not a religious person, but it was just something that was very important to me, that I knew that I needed to make that shift in order for me to go to the next level, especially where I want personally.
Right. Yeah. And then it could look different for everybody. Everyone's not the same, but I mean for me, I just realized I don't have to be in church every Sunday to have a relationship with God.
Yeah.
So that was another shift. It was like that's my own personal relationship, and it really is. I mean, yeah, just
No.
everybody's different. Everybody's different and everyone believes different and I respect that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you the shift framework you is the essential part of your work. Walk us through how you apply that with clients and entrepreneurs.
Yeah, well, the Shift whole program is brand spanking new. Like, while I was writing the book,
Mhm.
um, first the name came up. I had another name for 2 years. The book was in the works for 2 years, and we just recently changed it in the last few months. And that was a hard shift in itself, just changing the name because I was so attached to the other name, and I thought, "Why that was it. Why have I been thinking that was it for 2 years?" And now I know that that's a branded program that I'll be doing, that other name. Like, it's the purpose. It's just sometimes it takes time to, like, really just think things through. Like, I'll use another example. For 2 years after I got out of the hospital, almost 2 years, about a year and 9 months, I call it total hell. it was the worst time of my whole life. Like, you take every bad day you've ever had, times it by 100, and that's how I felt every day. I prayed every day I would have died. I was like, why would you save me to put me through this? Like, what do I need to learn? That was the real question that I should have started from the beginning, was what do I need to learn to get through this? Because when you're having hard times, you're so in it, you don't think about those kinds of things. And I look back now and I'm still figuring it out. I don't know it all yet, but I look back now and realize that those 2 years, the lessons I had to learn in those 2 years, those experiences with family and things falling apart and dealing with, I mean, we were dealing with DCFS, which is, child protective services with grandkids and attorneys. And oh, talk about the fight, was just devastating every day. And I look back now, if I wouldn't have had that experience, I have all this philanthropy work that I know in my shifting that I'm supposed to be doing in the future. These companies are just a means to get there. I want to be able to just write the check. I don't want to relive those organizations. I want to help those organizations. The best way to help them is with money. And so I had to have that money shift. Money's not evil when you do good things. When I can build something that's an empire and then be able to write checks to organizations to save children. I mean, in my situation, I lost a couple grandsons out of it, and grieving people that are living is way harder than people that have died, because I've done both. And that it just so many hard things. So I explain all that, in part of my story, but I just want to share with your listeners today. It's like, know that you go through hard things, but the question to ask is why? What do I need to learn? How can I move through this faster? How can I experience this in a better way? Because it brought me at my absolute worst. I mean, down to my knees every day, and not in a good place. I was not in a good mental place. I already felt like crap physically. And you just add all that together, and it was not it, I didn't feel like life was worth living for. Like, why would I want to live like this? And so anyway, that's just kind of the biggest shift for me, was just figuring out what you need to figure out, because it's going to be different for everyone too.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely, definitely. So, I don't know, you mentioned it a couple of times, Retreat RnR. What is that?
So Retreat RnR was the concept of a new company. It's a tech company, a SaaS, so software as a service.
Okay.
That's the overlining name. There's a bunch of divisions. They haven't all started. That's the big plan. There's a software company that's in development. It's not even available yet. I wish it was. That is like an Airbnb, but for venues for retreats. So everything we do is around retreats. So we have a podcast called All Things Retreat. There's a real estate division, which is a prop tech, which is property tech.
Yeah.
And we broker like luxury retreat properties for people that are looking to buy and sell. So there's just like anything to do with retreats is really what the company stands for. And that was what I was going to partner with on the billionaire that I chose not to.
Yeah.
And it's a lot. It's been a lot of setbacks with it, but exciting too, because anything good is worthwhile doing. And
Oh,
so
definitely, and
it's a work in progress.
no, it's amazing because, a couple of months ago, I do another, podcast with a good friend of mine I enjoy, and
Nice.
it's called Cognitive Cuisine, and she talked about, going to this retreat in Washington State, and
Oh,
how
nice.
it was such a great experience and everything. And
Yeah.
I was like, "Man, I would love to have a retreat here in the Poconos," and
Yeah.
because I do attend podcasting conventions and everything, and it's Florida, Texas.
Sure.
I said, "Why can't I have, like, a little small retreat, 25, 30 podcasters here in
Yeah.
the Poconos? We come create content, have some of my connections and friends that I've made through podcasting come and teach some courses,"
Yeah.
and so Chat
Great idea.
so I went to ChatGPT, put the information that I wanted to do and everything,
Yeah.
and it came up with a plan and pricing and
Sure.
everything,
It's amazing.
galore. It came up with venues near me so I could reach out to, which I did. I reached out to a couple. I got a few response. I'm waiting for a couple more.
I got some ideas for you. Remind me when we're done, and I'll share them with you.
We're definitely gonna talk. No, but yeah, so that's what I'm saying.
Do it.
Things happen. Like this conversation was meant to happen because I
Yeah.
didn't before I really we knew this. Had already been thinking about doing a retreat. So I was like,
Yeah.
so now speaking to you and reading everything, and I'm like, okay,
Yep.
things are supposed to happen. So yeah,
Yeah. And like we even offer a concierge service where we do all the logistics for people that they're more established. They already have people in their tribe that they are going to bring to a retreat. And we just come in and do the logistics for them. Because a lot of people just want to show up, teach their thing. They don't want to do all the back end stuff. It's a lot of work. A lot of work. Events are no easy task.
I know.
So
I know it's just me with me doing this. But the great thing is, like, I've pitched it to some of my good friends, and they all like, "What do you need me to do?"
yeah,
And I'm like, and I didn't pitch it to them. So I just wanted to get their opinion
sure.
on the idea. Like, hey, this is what my idea. This is, and
Yeah.
I value your opinion. So I would love for your feedback. And they're like, "Oh man, this is dope. This is awesome.
Yep.
Um, what do you need me to do?" And I'm like, huh?
Yeah.
I was like, whatever you want to do, like whatever you want to. I'll take any help. Whatever you want to come speak. Yeah, that's whatever. And so it's been building those relationships has given me the opportunity to even consider doing this. And that's what, like,
You
yeah,
bet.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna run with it. And so yeah, so we're working on. I'm working on that right now.
Good job. Yeah. They're not going anywhere. It's gonna be a $364 billion industry by 2032. And it's
Excellent.
growing 101.6% from
Yeah.
2022 to 2032.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, but I didn't think I wasn't doing it because of the finance. I just wanted. I just feel it's going to be a great experience for everyone who goes there because I've connected with some amazing people that has so much knowledge to share and so much
yeah.
about podcasting. And so I'm like, this would be, and then we get to collaborate and just I already got pitches to sponsors and I've been working on it. So
That. Yep. Good job. And I'm glad you went to chat. That always helps the brainstorming.
definitely, definitely. So what does alignment advantage mean in your context when purpose meets business strategy?
When you can take like your why or your purpose of what the end result is and somehow bring it into what you're doing every day, that's when you don't feel like you work a day in your life. That's when you enjoy every day what you do. There's no dread because if you're in purpose, that is your why. That's like what gets you up every morning. You don't I mean, there's a difference from what keeps you up all night is the stressor, but what you get you up in the morning is the
Right.
purpose. And that calling, it's like this without a shadow of a doubt. I mean, if you could never get paid, you'd still do it. Although you have to get paid to live. But just saying, it's
Oh,
like
yeah,
that's how much
when I
you
first started, yeah, when I first I wasn't making no money. I was
right.
like, I've been able to take the skills that I've developed from podcasting
Yeah.
to make money on the side. Like I've been able to take my editing skills from audio and video to
Yeah.
flip that into something. I've taken learning how to self-publish books to and helping other people publish their books. So
Right.
the stuff that I've learned, I've I've just like, okay, I've just monetized it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's meet, motivate, and monetize was my words for my prosperity event that I used to do live.
I like
And
that.
that's what we stood for. Meet, motivate, and monetize. That's if you can figure that out, but have that calling and that pure joy of doing your why
Mhm.
and that vision that just is clear. I think, I mean, I remember being stuck in that and not knowing. And that knowing now is like brings peace. Like I've never in my life felt peace that I do now. there's lots of stressors going on all the time, especially because I'm in the middle of launching a book in a couple weeks. And I know it'll all be fine. It's
Yeah.
gonna be happening how it's supposed to happen. And I just I mean, I'm not saying I don't stress out. I've been stressing out plenty, trust me. But there are things that are in your control and there are things that are not in your control. So control what you can, and the rest, you just say, "Hey, it's gonna work out how it's supposed to," and it will.
Yeah, it will. Definitely, definitely.
Not always in your favor, I will say.
No,
But
oh, no,
that's the lesson and
uh,
the journey.
yeah, yeah, that's how life is. It's just ups and downs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
it's
it's what you do with those downs so
yeah,
you can
yeah,
get back
it's
up.
yeah, yeah, definitely. And it's yeah, it's definitely been last couple of years been up and down, especially,
Yeah.
last year dealing with my mom getting sick and passing, and so it and but it was a podcast that helped me to keep going. Like, it
Oh, I love that.
being able to interview people and it
Yeah.
it was like, even though I was grieving and going through what I was going through, this was my safe space. This was a
And you
place
showed up.
yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I prior experiences prepared me for my mom,
Yeah.
so it I still showed up even though I was hurting inside, but
Yeah.
I showed up because it's just it was just important for me,
Mm.
not just to be able to continue to do something that I love to do, and I know she would want me to continue to
Yeah.
yeah, she know she just wanted
It was
she
your
would
best medicine.
yeah, it was for me, it was just like, "Alright, I can just talk to people and hear their stories and be inspired by them and just continue to just do what I do." And it was like, yeah, it was like on automatic. It was just even though I was going and I was going through some health issues as well personally, and the podcast honestly just being able to just go like on automatic pilot with it was just it helped me get through a lot.
Yeah. I love that. Oh, that's great. So great. Well, I'm sorry you had to experience a couple people losing a couple great people in your life to go through all that, but, we're all gonna go at some point, and
Mhm. Yeah,
it's just part of our life, and that's challenging, but it doesn't make it easier, for
yeah,
sure.
definitely. So, how do you help women via your foundation adventure bucket wish step
Yeah.
into resilience and presence as leaders?
Yeah. So it's really going through a lot of the steps that I went through, and I'm going to be bringing my shift whole process into that as well. Partnering with other leaders, women organizations, especially women owned businesses that need tax write offs, and they can help write a check to a nonprofit because when you do good things, it still costs money. And we haven't done a lot, to be honest with you, since we shifted into this mission. We haven't done a lot, and I'm planning on 2026 being a better year for that. It just I got in that overwhelm where it was like, I got this going. We did all these fundraisers, plus like then I have the health setbacks. And so it's like, okay, it's time. We need to get our board back together. I have a great board. We were a mastermind before we were a board. They went through my whole journey with me. They were 5 other women, and so it was just a shoe in to have them become the board of directors. And so they're all willing to be still on board, even with the new mission. And um, yeah, so we were just having a conversation about it yesterday, actually. When are we going to get together and mastermind? It's a perfect 5 is a perfect group to mastermind, and you get 5 women together. It's not only fun, but you can get a lot done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Share oh, hold on. All right, okay. So what's next for you and your brands, the Retreat RnR, your foundation, your writing, your impact?
Well, writing, I'm going to take a dang break because this has been a lot. Blood, sweat, and tears, like you said earlier. That's what it's been. Um, but honestly, I think for me, I kind of like doing keynotes and going and speaking to groups and giving them hope. And I definitely feel like that spiritual group is more my people. It's interesting because I never business were, but I guess maybe spiritual business people, and there's lots of them. right? There's a lot of them out there. So I think it's just looking for more opportunities to serve and get on more stages to just share my message. And my core message will be built around the whole shift acronym and all the lessons I learned. So depending on how much time I have on the stage is how much I can go over. But I want to give people that hope and that knowing that they can do hard things and you can come out the other end and you can keep smiling.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's been amazing just to have these conversations and listen to all these amazing stories and like just seeing you now, right? And seeing you with the energy and I can't picture you not like this. And so you've come a long way from where you've been at 70 days in the hospital to
Yeah.
really doing some amazing stuff by helping the women you are helping
Way
and
more to do.
oh, you're far from done. You got a lot of stuff.
Far from done.
You're far
Can't
from
take
done.
me now. Let me finish.
So how do you stay grounded in presence, purpose, and passion once you scaled and succeeded?
Oh, self-care used to be never in my mind ever. I owned a salon and spa for 20 years and I was licensed in hair, skin, nails and an instructor. So you think I would have been big on self-care. I was big on giving other people self-care, but internally taking care of myself. We raised 8 children in the same house. It was a lot going on all the time. And so now it is my self-care since I got all the my health challenges became my health care. And it was kind of like, do I exercise today for an hour or do I go hop in? A miracle was I got a hyperbaric for my lungs. And it was like, that's 90 minutes of my morning. And it's like, sometimes you have to choose, is it healthcare today or is that self-care? Okay, self-care is healthcare. And yeah, so to me, it looks different all the time depending on the energy level that I have. Lately, it's been great. I have learned that when I start getting setbacks, the last years, I had 2 6-week setbacks, and then I had a 10-week setback this last year. And I mean, praise God, nothing happens this year. I just am trying to stay really healthy and do the right things and just keep positive thoughts going so that just your body's optimal. But I'll tell you what I did learn was my 10-week setback. After I came out of it, I realized same thing as why I was put in the hospital and put still. You're off track. Let me give you a little setback so you can remember what you're supposed to be doing. And
Mhm.
I'm just like, okay, I got it. I got the lesson. That was the third time I had a setback. And I'm like, all right, next time that setback, if there is anything, it's gonna be way short because I just like I have a backup plan now. Whereas before I was just like, I feel like crap, but I'm pushing through it. And I still traveled and I still did everything. But first week, it's fatigue, horrible, horrible fatigue. And the second week, all the pain comes back, like head to toe pain. And so I'm like, if I get to week 2, man, I better knock myself over the head because I got to figure this out. No more of that.
And all right, so wow, I just realized the time. Wow. Well,
I'm a
anyway,
talker.
no, no, this is great. I love it. I love it. This is awesome. So,
Hopefully they're hanging in.
or not, they'll come back to it. They always do. But in a world that values speed and profit, what's your message about the power of aligned speed and soul-led strategy?
Soul-led strategy. I think I would bring purpose into that because purpose and soul, I just feel like they mirror each other.
Mhm.
And I just think when you bring all that together, the just things are endless and the possibilities are endless when you just have that, you just make it an even playing ground. It's like you almost have an unfair advantage, but bring everything in, level it out, and I think anything's possible.
Awesome. Thank you. Now I hate to do it, but we've come to the part of the show where you get the spotlight and you just plug away and let everybody know where they can find you, when the book, everything.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, a lot of my story, if you wanna hear more of the nitty-gritty, oh boy, it's vulnerable, I'll tell you. It's really vulnerable. I ran for political office and thought all my skeletons were out, but there's lots more in the book. Um, that's where I would love to send people, yeah, is near death shift, SHIFT. So neardeathshift.com. That'll take you to that landing page. Hollyporter.com is my website, and I'm on all social media. And I'll send you my link tree because that has like everything on it. It'll send you everywhere you need to go. So with that one link, if you click on there, you can get anywhere. But those are the new ones. The book launches on 11/11. You can get it for 99 cents for a few days off of Amazon for a Kindle version of the ebook. And then the other copies will be ready right after.
Awesome. Holly.
Appreciate you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for sharing your story, and I appreciate your time. This was wonderful. Like
You have great questions.
I know when a episode goes this long that it's a great episode.
Oh, thank you.
Whenever no, yeah, whenever it goes close to an hour, I'm like, man, because it just seems to just flow so nicely. It's just went
Oh,
so I enjoyed it. Thank you so much. I appreciate your
well, you're
time.
good at it. That's why.
I'm still learning and growing. I still got some more to grow,
That's all right.
but it see the thing is, like people like, oh, AI. Like, no, I used it for a tool. I used it to help me improve my show. It's helped me structure
Absolutely.
my show to where now, all right, all right, this is where I ended up, and it's made such a huge difference
Yeah.
in time and and quality of the show. It's
Yeah.
really helped me
Yeah.
m- improve as a host, and it's helped me. So it's been a blessing, and I use it to really help me. I use it as the tool that it is to help me further along and help me improve any of the things that I'm working on.
Right. I think it's great. I agree. Me too. I use it every day.
But thank you so once again. I appreciate it. But again, yeah, don't leave. We're gonna chat a little bit off the air, but thank you so much. This was wonderful. I love it.
Thank you.
Thank
Appreciate
you. Um, I appreciate you. Thank you. All right, everybody. This was another great episode. Oh, I love it. I love when I have some phenomenal. She was amazing, wasn't she? I love it. This was amazing. I love these types of episodes. This is why I do the podcast. So thank you so much. If Holly's stories and insights lit a spark, head over to her website. Go get her book. Definitely go support. To learn more about her framework, her foundation, and how to integrate purpose with profit. And if you know someone who's in business but lacking alignment, share this episode with them because the world needs meaningful leaders, and maybe that leader is you. Stay aligned, stay purpose driven, stay wise. You know how your boy Wise does it. Peace out.